On a foggy evening, for friends Alex, Sarah, Mark, and Emily arrived at a remote cabin nestled deep within the woods. The cabin, surrounded by towering trees, looked eerie in the dim light. Despite their apprehension, they ventured inside, eager for a weekend of relaxation. Inside, they found the cabin cozy but rustic. After unpacking, they gathered around the fireplace, its flickering flames casting dancing shadows on the walls. Sarah suggested exploring the nearby woods, and they agreed, eager for adventure. As they ventured into the woods, the atmosphere grew colder, and the trees seemed to close in around them. Mark joked nervously about ghost stories, but a sense of unease settled over the group. Emily suggested heading back, but Alex insisted they press on. Suddenly, they stumbled upon an abandoned cemetery hidden among the trees. The gravestones were weathered and moss-covered, and an icy wind seemed to whisper through the crumbling tombs. Sarah suggested they leave, but Mark's curiosity got the better of him. As they explored, they discovered a tombstone with Emily's name engraved on it. Shocked and frightened, Emily stepped back, feeling a cold hand brush against her shoulder. The friends exchanged terrified glances, realizing they were not alone. A ghostly figure materialized before them, its ethereal form glowing faintly in the moonlight. It beckoned to them, its voice a whisper on the wind. Sarah screamed, and the friends turned to flee, their hearts pounding with fear. They ran through the woods, the ghostly apparition hot on their heels. Branches scraped against their skin, and roots tripped them up as they stumbled blindly through the darkness. Emily prayed they would make it back to the safety of the cabin. Finally, they burst through the cabin door, gasping for breath and trembling with fear. They barricaded the door and huddled together, seeking solace in each other's presence. Outside, the forest was silent, but the memory of the ghostly apparition lingered in their minds. As they tried to calm their racing hearts, they heard strange noises outside, the sound of footsteps and whispers that seemed to surround the cabin. Fear gripped them once more as they realized they were not alone in the woods. With the first light of dawn, the strange noises ceased, and a sense of relief washed over the group. They emerged from the cabin cautiously, grateful to see the sun rise once more. Though shaken by their ordeal, they knew they had survived the night. In a remote countryside, there stands an old abandoned mill, surrounded by overgrown weeds and shrouded in mystery. Local legends speak of strange happenings in the mill, but for curious friends Tom, Sarah, Emma, and Mike decide to explore it one eerie night. As they step inside, a chill runs down their spines, and they're greeted by the creaking of old machinery and the distant sound of rushing water. The air is thick with dust, and the shadows dance ominously on the walls. Exploring further, they stumble upon a hidden chamber deep within the mill. Inside, they find cryptic symbols painted on the walls and strange artifacts scattered about. A sense of unease washes over them as they realize they're not alone. Suddenly, they hear whispers echoing through the chamber, chilling them to the bone. Shadows converge in the darkness, coalescing into a sinister figure that looms over them with glowing eyes. Terror grips their hearts as they realize they've disturbed something malevolent. With adrenaline coursing through their veins, they turn and flee, their screams echoing through the empty halls of the mill. They race towards the exit, their hearts pounding in their chests as they desperately try to outrun the encroaching darkness. Just as they reach the exit, they come face to face with the entity blocking their path. With nowhere left to run, they brace themselves for a final confrontation, their minds racing as they search for a way to defeat the malevolent force. In a last-ditch effort to banish the entity, they recall the symbols they saw in the chamber and begin to chant an ancient ritual. Their voices tremble with fear as they pour all their energy into the incantation, hoping against hope that it will be enough to save them. As they finish the ritual, a blinding light fills the chamber, driving back the darkness and banishing the entity once and for all. Relief washes over them as they realize they've succeeded in freeing the mill from its malevolent influence. With the entity vanquished, the friends make their way out of the mill, their hearts lighter than they've been in hours. As they emerge into the cool night air, They share a silent vow never to return to the haunted mill again. As they walk away from the mill, they can't help but feel a sense of closure. Though the memories of their harrowing experience will haunt them forever, they know they've faced their fears and emerged stronger for it. Deep within the heart of Whispering Pines Forest, where the trees seem to whisper ancient secrets, lies the beginning of our tale. A group of friends, filled with a mixture of excitement and apprehension, step into Whispering Pines, their footsteps echoing in the stillness of the night. In the midst of the dense forest, the friends stumble upon a small clearing, bathed in an otherworldly glow under the moonlight. As they explore the clearing, the friends witness strange apparitions moving among the trees, their forms shifting and elusive. Emerging from the darkness, an abandoned cabin stands silent and foreboding, its once welcoming facade now a haunting reminder of the mysteries that lie within. Inside the cabin, an oppressive atmosphere hangs heavy in the air, as if the very walls themselves are filled with unseen eyes watching their every move. With trepidation, the friends venture deeper into the cabin, their flashlights casting long, eerie shadows that seem to dance and sway with a life of their own. With mounting fear, the friends try to leave the cabin, only to find their path blocked by an invisible barrier, trapping them within its walls. In a chilling moment, the friends come face to face with the vengeful spirit that haunts the cabin, its spectral form twisted with rage as it seeks revenge on those who disturb its rest. Armed with only their bravery, the friends battle against the vengeful spirit, their voices raised in a desperate bid to banish it from the cabin and free themselves from its grip. Just when all seems lost, a blinding light fills the cabin, casting out the shadows and revealing the truth behind the mysterious haunting. With the vengeful spirit banished, the cabin falls silent once more, its haunting presence lifted by the bravery of the friends who dared to confront it. As they step out into the moonlit night, they know they have faced their fears and emerged victorious. With Whispering Pines fading into the distance behind them, the friends walk away, their hearts lighter now that they have faced their fears and emerged stronger for it. But as they leave, they know that the memory of their harrowing ordeal will stay with them forever. Maya stands at the top of the subway station stairs, peering down into the dimly lit corridor below. The walls are adorned with layers of graffiti, some vibrant and artistic, others faded and ominous. The overhead lights flicker sporadically, casting irregular shadows on the rusted metal steps leading into the depths. Maya adjusts her backpack and camera, taking a deep breath before beginning her descent into the unknown. Maya navigates the winding corridors of the subway station, her footsteps echoing off the tiled walls. The air is cool and stale, carrying whispers of a forgotten era. Graffiti covers almost every surface, depicting faces and abstract shapes that seem to watch her. Every move, old posters peel off in places, revealing glimpses of advertisements from decades past. Maya pauses occasionally to capture the haunting beauty of the decaying station with her camera, each click punctuating the silence of the abandoned passageways. Maya emerges onto the platform, greeted by the oppressive silence of the empty station. The flickering fluorescent lights cast long shadows on the cracked tiles below. Rusted benches line the platform, their surfaces worn and weathered. A faint breeze stirs the air, carrying with it the distant echo of a train approaching. Maya feels a profound sense of isolation as she stands alone on the desolate platform, her camera ready to capture the melancholy of the abandoned space. As Maya waits on the platform, she notices shadows moving along the walls, their shapes shifting in the flickering light. They seem to dance and writhe unnaturally, defying any logical explanation. Maya adjusts her camera settings, trying to capture the elusive play of light and shadow. The shadows twist and elongate, casting eerie patterns that send a chill down Maya's spine. The distant rumble grows louder as a train approaches the platform, its headlights piercing the darkness. Maya hears the screech of brakes as the train comes to a stop, the doors sliding open with a pneumatic hiss. Inside, the carriage is dimly lit, casting long shadows across the empty seats. Maya hesitates for a moment before stepping inside, her camera hanging from her neck, ready to document the eerie interior. The train moves through the tunnels, its rhythmic clatter filling the carriage. Maya looks out the scratched window, watching the flickering lights of the tunnel walls rushing past. In the dimness, she hears faint whispers, their words indistinct yet unsettling. The whispers seem to echo through the empty carriage, their source mysterious and elusive. Maya disembarks at an old, seemingly abandoned station, the air heavy with the scent of dampness and decay. She steps cautiously onto the platform, her footsteps echoing loudly in the silence. The station is deserted, with rusted benches and cracked tiles under flickering lights. Maya senses a presence watching her from the shadows, unseen yet palpable in the oppressive atmosphere. As Maya explores further, she encounters a figure standing in the shadows, a silhouette obscured by darkness. She freezes, her heart racing, unsure if the figure is real or a figment of her imagination. The figure remains motionless, watching her with an intensity that sends a chill down Maya's spine. She takes a hesitant step closer, her camera raised, ready to capture the mysterious presence. Show Maya facing the shadowy figure standing in the shadows of the subway station. The figure should be partially obscured, blending into the darkness of the station. The lighting should be dim and atmospheric, with flickering lights casting uncertain shadows around the figure. Maya should be holding her camera, her expression a mix of fear and determination as she confronts the unknown entity. The visual should capture the suspenseful moment of Maya's encounter with the mysterious figure. With adrenaline coursing through her veins, Maya turns and runs, her footsteps echoing through the empty corridors of the subway station. She glances back only once, catching a glimpse of the figure disappearing into the shadows. Maya emerges into the main corridor, sprinting towards the exit as if pursued by unseen forces. She bursts into the open air, gasping for breath and trembling with relief, the echoes of her ordeal fading behind her in the distance. Maya emerges onto the bustling city street, her heart still pounding from the harrowing experience underground. She looks back at the subway entrance, half expecting to see the shadowy figure watching her from the depths. But the station remains silent and still, blending seamlessly into the urban landscape. With a deep breath, Maya continues down the street, haunted by the memory of whispers and shadows, forever changed by her journey into the depths of the underground. *** visual prompt. *** show Maya standing on the city street. The narrator introduces the group of friends Sarah, Mark, Emily, and Alex as they arrive at Whispering Pines National Park for a weekend camping trip. They set up camp near a serene lake surrounded by majestic pine trees, their laughter echoing through the stillness of the woods. The sun sets in a blaze of orange and pink, casting long shadows across the forest floor as the friends settle in for the night, unaware of the darkness that lurks in the depths of the wilderness. Vinvin MCC Hana's night falls. Sarah begins to have unsettling dreams of a shadowy figure beckoning to her from the depths of the forest. The narrator describes how the dreams grow more vivid and disturbing with each passing night, leaving Sarah sleep-deprived and on edge. She confides in her friends, who brush off her fears as mere imagination fueled by the eerie atmosphere of Whispering Pines. On the third night of their camping trip, Emily wakes to find Sarah missing from her tent. Panic sets in as the friends search frantically for her, their flashlights cutting through the darkness of the forest. The narrator describes the oppressive silence broken only by the rustling of leaves and distant cries of nocturnal animals. They stumble upon Sarah's flashlight lying near a trail that leads deeper into the woods, its beam flickering ominously in the cool night air. Mark and Emily press on deeper into the forest, their hearts pounding with fear and determination to find Sarah. The narrator describes how they come upon an ancient, overgrown cemetery hidden among the trees, a chilling reminder of Whispering Pines' dark history. They hear Sarah's voice echoing faintly from beyond a crumbling mausoleum, her words twisted and distorted as if spoken from another realm. Dread grips them as they realize they are not alone in the moonlit cemetery. Mark and Emily discover Sarah standing at the center of a circle of ancient runes carved into the forest floor. The narrator describes how Sarah is in a trance-like state, her eyes glazed over as she murmurs in an unfamiliar language. Shadows writhe and twist around her, their forms shifting and merging with the darkness of the trees. Mark and Emily realize they have stumbled upon a forgotten ritual that binds Sarah to an ancient entity lurking within Whispering Pines. Mark and Emily confront the malevolent entity that has ensnared Sarah, its presence palpable in the chilling stillness of the forest. The narrator describes their desperate struggle to break the ancient ritual and free Sarah from the entity's grasp. The air crackles with supernatural energy as they recite counter incantations and wield makeshift charms against the entity's dark influence. Shadows coil and lash out, testing their resolve as they fight to save their friend and escape the forest clutches. As dawn breaks over Whispering Pines, the narrator reflects on the friend's harrowing ordeal and the thin veil between the natural world and the supernatural forces that dwell within. Sarah awakens, her memories fragmented and dreams haunted by fleeting shadows. Mark and Emily exchange a silent vow to never speak of the horrors they witnessed, their bond forever strengthened by the shared experience of Whispering Pines' dark embrace. 5 friends stood at the edge of Ravenwood Manor, its decaying structure looming ominously against the night sky. The air was thick with an eerie silence, only broken by the distant hoot of an owl. Jack, the boldest among them, dared everyone to spend the night in the haunted house. With nervous laughter and racing hearts, they accepted the challenge, armed with flashlights and sleeping bags. They had heard the tales of the manor's dark past, but their curiosity and desire for adventure outweighed their fear. The front door creaked loudly as they pushed it open, revealing a dark, musty hallway. Dust motes floated in the air, illuminated by the beams of their flashlights. The wallpaper was peeling, and cobwebs adorned the corners. The wooden floors groaned under their weight, and the air was thick with the smell of decay. They moved cautiously, every creak and whisper of the old house making their hearts pound harder. Despite their bravado, an oppressive sense of unease settled over them. The friends decided to split up to cover more ground. Jack and Emma explored the grand living room, where tattered furniture and a dusty chandelier hinted at past opulence. Sam and Lily found an old library, its shelves filled with ancient books and strange artifacts. Mike wandered into the kitchen, filled with rusty utensils and an old pantry. Unexplained noises echoed through the manor, raising the hair on the back of their necks. The sense of being watched grew stronger with each passing minute. Emma stumbled upon a hidden door behind a bookshelf in the library. With a cautious push, it opened to reveal a small, dark room filled with old photographs and a diary. The photographs depicted a once happy family whose faces turned somber in each successive picture. The diary's pages detailed a family tragedy and an unsolved mystery, including entries about strange occurrences and ominous warnings. Emma called the others, and they gathered to read the chilling account, their fear growing with every word. As night fell, the manor came alive with supernatural activity. Doors slammed shut on their own, eerie whispers filled the air, and ghostly figures flitted at the edge of their vision. The temperature dropped suddenly, and their breath became visible in the freezing air. The friends huddled together, their fear growing as they realized they were not alone in the manor. Objects moved on their own, and faint footsteps echoed in the halls. Panic began to set in as the reality of their situation became undeniable. In a desperate bid for answers, the friends decided to hold a séance. They sat in a circle in the library, holding hands, and called out to the spirits of Ravenwood Manor. The room grew cold, and a ghostly presence began to materialize, revealing the manor's dark secrets. The candles they lit flickered violently, and the air buzzed with energy. They felt a heavy, oppressive force pressing down on them as they chanted, their voices trembling with fear. The atmosphere was charged with anticipation and dread. A spectral figure of a young girl appeared before them, her face a mask of sorrow. She recounted the horrific events that led to her family's murder and her own untimely death. The friends listened in shock as she pleaded for their help to find peace and end the manor's curse. Her voice was soft and echoing, filled with pain and desperation. Tears streamed down her ghostly cheeks as she pointed towards the basement, indicating where the truth lay buried. The friends felt a mix of fear and compassion, determined to help her. Determined to help, the friends scoured the manor for more clues. They found hidden letters and a secret passage that led to the basement. In the dimly lit basement, they uncovered evidence of the family's tragic end, including old newspaper clippings, blood-stained clothing, and a locket with the girl's picture. The air was thick with the scent of decay and the oppressive weight of past horrors. As they pieced together the story, the full extent of the manor's dark history was revealed, filling them with a sense of dread and urgency. The basement was a grim repository of forgotten pain and suffering. In the basement, they confronted the malevolent spirit responsible for the murders. Guided by the young girl's spirit, they performed a ritual to banish the evil entity. The air crackled with energy as the spirit resisted, manifesting as a dark, shadowy figure with glowing eyes. The friends chanted the incantation, their voices shaking but determined. The oppressive force intensified, making it difficult to breathe. Just as it seemed the spirit would overpower them, a bright light erupted, and the entity was vanquished. The basement fell silent, the air cleared, and the heavy weight lifted. With the ritual complete, the evil spirit was vanquished. Exhausted but relieved, the friends hurried out of the manor as dawn broke. The young girl's spirit appeared one last time, smiling gratefully before fading away, leaving the house finally at peace. The manor, bathed in the soft morning light, no longer looked menacing, but rather like a sad relic of the past. The friends felt a profound sense of accomplishment and a deep bond from their shared ordeal. They walked away from the manor, feeling lighter and more connected than ever. Mia steps off the bus, her breath misting in the crisp autumn air. Oakwood greets her with quaint cottages and winding streets adorned with colorful leaves. In the distance, the old Victorian house looms, its ornate facade partially obscured by overgrown ivy. Mia's curiosity is piqued as she makes her way towards the house, a sense of foreboding creeping over her. Mia approaches the Victorian house, its wooden porch creaking underfoot. The narrator describes the house's age-charmed stained glass windows, intricate woodwork, and a weathered brass knocker shaped like a lion's head. Mia hesitates before knocking, sensing a palpable stillness that hangs in the air like a veil. The heavy door swings open with a groan, revealing a dimly lit foyer adorned with antique furniture and faded tapestries. Mia steps inside, her footsteps echoing on the polished wooden floorboards. The narrator details the eerie silence that envelops her, broken only by the occasional creak of floorboards and distant rustling of leaves outside. Mia explores the house room by room, uncovering traces of its former inhabitants, a child's abandoned toy, a faded photograph on a dusty mantelpiece, and journals filled with cryptic entries. The narrator describes Mia's growing fascination and unease as she pieces together fragments of a tragic family history and the unexplained disappearance that shrouded the house in mystery. In an upstairs bedroom, Mia discovers an ornate mirror covered in a thin film of dust. As she approaches, the mirror's surface shimmers faintly, reflecting distorted images of the room. The narrator details Mia's growing unease as she notices subtle movements in the mirror, a shadowy figure that seems to flicker at the corner of her vision, its presence unsettling and inexplicable. As night falls, Mia returns to the mirror, determined to uncover its secrets. The narrator describes Mia's reflection behaving strangely, moving independently, its expression twisting into a sinister grin. Fear grips Mia as she realizes the mirror is a portal to a dark realm where the boundary between reality and the supernatural blurs. In a desperate bid to escape the mirror's grasp, Mia shatters its surface with a heavy object, unleashing a surge of paranormal energy. The narrator details Mia's frantic flight through the house, hallways twisting and distorting, furniture crashing, and unseen whispers echoing through the walls. Mia's heart pounds as she races towards the front door, the house itself seeming to resist her escape. At dawn, Mia emerges from the Victorian house, battered and breathless, but triumphant. The narrator reflects on Mia's journey, a harrowing exploration of the supernatural and a confrontation with personal fears. As Mia leaves Oakwood behind, the sun rises over the horizon, casting a golden glow on the quaint town and its mysterious Victorian house. The echoes of Mia's experience linger, a testament to the enduring allure and peril of uncovering hidden truths. A group of friends, Sarah, Tom, Emma, Mike, and Lisa, decide to explore an abandoned house rumored to be haunted at the edge of Hollow Grove. The house stands dilapidated, its windows boarded up and the paint peeling off the walls. A single light flickers in the attic, casting eerie shadows on the overgrown lawn. They cautiously step over the threshold into the darkened foyer of the abandoned house. Cobwebs hang from the ceiling, and dust motes dance in the beam of sunlight filtering through cracked windows. The air is stale, carrying the scent of damp wood and neglect. They split up to explore different rooms of the house. Sarah enters a room filled with dusty furniture and forgotten belongings, a child's toy abandoned in the corner, its paint chipped with age. Tom discovers a study cluttered with old books and papers, their pages yellowed and curling at the edges. Emma finds a kitchen with cobweb-covered countertops and rusted utensils. Mike explores a basement filled with discarded tools and broken furniture. Lisa hesitates in the hallway, her eyes darting nervously as she listens to the creaks and groans of the old house. In the hallway, shadows seem to move on their own, eliciting fear and confusion among the friends. They exchange nervous glances, their footsteps faltering as they try to rationalize the unnatural phenomenon. The temperature drops suddenly, sending a chill down their spines. They climb creaky stairs to the attic, a sense of foreboding growing with each step. The air grows thicker as they ascend, dust swirling in the dim light filtering through a cracked skylight. The attic is filled with forgotten treasures and discarded belongings, a trunk overflowing with yellowed photographs, an old rocking chair swaying gently in a draft they cannot feel. A ghostly apparition materializes in the attic, its translucent form glowing faintly in the darkness. It emits a mournful moan, sending the friends stumbling back in fear. The apparition's eyes fix on them with a silent plea, its presence filling the attic with an otherworldly chill. They rush out of the abandoned house, their faces pale with terror. The attic window glows ominously behind them, casting long shadows on the overgrown lawn. Their footsteps echo on the porch as they flee into the safety of the moonlit night. The abandoned house stands silent and empty in the moonlight, its secrets buried within its crumbling walls. Hollow Grove sleeps undisturbed, unaware of the haunting that lurks within the old house. The friends carry the weight of their chilling encounter, forever changed by the spectral presence that dwells in the darkness of Hollow Grove. In the heart of a dense forest, there stands a secluded cabin, its wooden walls weathered by time and its windows reflecting the eerie glow of the moon. A group of friends, seeking a weekend retreat, cautiously make their way through the forest towards the cabin, their footsteps rustling the fallen leaves beneath their feet. Stepping into the cabin's interior, the friends are enveloped by a musty scent, the air heavy with the weight of the unknown that lingers within. As they explore the cabin, mysterious shadows flicker and dance along the walls, their movements seemingly guided by unseen force, sending shivers down the friends' spines. Venturing into the attic, the friends discover a trove of dusty relics and forgotten treasures, each item holding a story of its own, waiting to be uncovered. A chill wind sweeps through the attic, sending shivers down the friends' spines as they sense a malevolent presence lurking in the shadows, its intentions unknown but undeniably sinister. With trepidation, the friends explore the cabin's surroundings, the forest alive with whispers and eerie sounds that seem to echo with the voices of the past. Panic sets in as the friends try to leave the cabin, only to find themselves trapped by unseen force, their path blocked by barriers that refuse to yield. In a heart-stopping moment, the friends come face to face with a malevolent spirit that materializes before them, its form twisted and contorted with rage as it seeks retribution for trespassing upon its domain. Armed with only their courage and determination, the friends battle against the malevolent spirit, their voices raised in defiance as they fight to banish it from the cabin and free themselves from its grasp. Just when all seems lost, a blinding light fills the cabin, dispelling the shadows and revealing the truth behind the haunting. With the malevolent spirit banished, the cabin falls silent once more. The friends emerge into the moonlit night, their hearts heavy, but their spirits lifted by the knowledge that they have faced their fears and emerged victorious. As they walk away from the cabin, the friends know that the memory of their encounter will stay with them forever. But they take comfort in the knowledge that they have confronted the darkness and emerged into the light, stronger for having faced their fears head-on. In the heart of the forest, where the trees whisper secrets and the night holds sway, stands a secluded cabin, its windows dark and its doors locked against the unknown. A group of friends, seeking refuge from the hustle of the city, arrive at the cabin with eager anticipation, their footsteps echoing in the stillness of the night. With trepidation, the friends step into the cabin's interior, their flashlights cutting through the gloom to reveal dusty furniture and cobwebs that cling to the corners like specters of the past. As they settle into the cabin, the friends are unsettled by strange noises that seem to emanate from the walls themselves, and shadows that flicker and sway as if alive with malevolent intent. Curiosity getting the better of them, the friends discover a hidden trapdoor in the floor, its hinges creaking ominously as they reveal a staircase leading down into the unknown depths of the basement. In the oppressive darkness of the basement, the friends feel an unseen presence watching their every move, its icy touch sending shivers down their spines as they navigate the labyrinth and corridors. With trepidation, the friends venture further into the basement's labyrinth of corridors, their flashlights illuminating strange symbols etched into the walls, symbols that seem to pulse with an otherworldly energy. With mounting fear, the friends try to flee the basement, only to find themselves blocked by an invisible barrier, trapping them within its suffocating embrace. In a moment of terror, the friends come face to face with the malevolent entity that haunts the cabin, its form twisted and contorted with rage as it seeks vengeance upon those who dare to intrude upon its domain. Armed with only their wits and their dwindling courage, the friends battle against the malevolent entity, their voices raised in a desperate plea to banish it from the cabin and free themselves from its spectral grip. Just when all seems lost, a blinding light fills the cabin, dispelling the shadows and revealing the truth behind the haunting. With the malevolent entity banished, the cabin falls silent once more, its haunted halls now empty of the darkness that once held sway. As the friends step out into the moonlit night, they know they have faced their fears and emerged victorious. With the cabin fading into the darkness behind them, the friends walk away, their hearts lighter now that they have faced their fears and emerged stronger for it. But as they leave, they know that the memory of their encounter with the shadows in the night will stay with them forever.